Lord's Day. I got my Bible. I'm ready to hear the word.
Mary was absolutely, positively not a virgin when she gave birth to Jesus. That whole concept of virginity is kind of culturally defined anyway, but we know biologically that that is an impossibility, of course, in the 21st century.
Now, most of the time I agree with Holy Nope on many of the ridiculousness that you would see in Christian churches. But in this instance, I'm in disagreement with Holy Nope. You see, Holy Nope actually really is a Christian. For those of you who thought that I was using his videos because he's not, but he actually is a Christian. But in this instance, he's absolutely wrong. You see, most of you on this glorious day of Christmas believe that Jesus was born of a virgin. But if you were to actually look up and research the information that was put forth, the word is not virgin. It is not meant to be virgin. See, many of you think that because, I believe it's either Isaiah or Ezekiel, but I think it's Isaiah, who said that a Alma will give birth, or actually the original said an Alma has given birth. Alma meaning young woman, has absolutely nothing to do with her virginity. In the Old Testament, if they actually meant a virgin, then the word that they would have used would have been Bethula. Bethula was used throughout the Bible. You remember that part that I hearken on many times in Leviticus, where it says that if a young girl, virgin, were to be accosted by a man, the word used there is Bethula. It is not Alma. It's not young woman. It's young virgin. When it talks about, in I believe Judges, where if a man marries a woman and she is found not to be a Bethula, it doesn't say Alma. It says Bethula, meaning virgin. Then she is to be stoned. But if she's a Bethula, if her virginity can be proven by the little piece of cloth that's placed under her, then she shall not be stoned. But then the man has to pay the father some money for the indignities and cannot divorce the woman. So when it was prophesizing about a young woman giving birth and that son will reign or become king, it wasn't talking about Jesus. It was talking about in that time frame of the Babylonian captivity, which I think that makes it, I think it is Isaiah, but it might be Ezekiel. But that person would then take over and get them out of their captivity. It was talking about a young woman. And the problem is that in the Greek, they mistranslated young woman to simply mean virgin. And so when they wrote it in the New Testament, they wrote virgin instead of young woman. But like I said, it had nothing to do. That prophecy is not Jesus fulfilling that prophecy anyway. So when Christians like to say, well, Jesus fulfilled over 1,600 prophecies, he didn't fulfill that one and many others that he did not fulfill because they were not referring to him, and he did not accomplish those things, because that prophecy was talking about a kingdom being established here on earth at the time frame that those Israelites were being conquered by the Babylonians, by the Assyrians. So it wasn't talking about your ethereal kingdom that will be established on earth. And guess what? Your Jesus ethereal kingdom has not been established on earth either. It has never happened. The only time that is supposed to happen in your Bible is in Revelations, when your Jesus is supposedly set up a kingdom on earth that's supposed to last for 1,000 years, and then the devil will be let loose again to roam and trick the nations for a little while, and then Jesus returns again for the battle of Armageddon. That is the only time this kingdom is supposed to be established. And then after that, the kingdom will be supposedly a new Jerusalem city will descend upon the earth, and all will live in the golden streets of Jerusalem. But Holy Nope, you're kind of wrong on that one. She wasn't a virgin. Some theorize that she was impregnated by a Roman soldier. That is just a theory, a doctrine that was created by one of the Roman churches back in the day. Has nothing to do with anything else. Some think that her and Joseph just got it on a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner. But according to the story, Joseph was put out a little bit. So that's why they don't really go with her and Joseph snuck in and got it in. Kind of like how Ruth and Boaz got it in at the meal, and then want to claim that they didn't do anything and trick the elder of the city to not take her so that he can take her. That whole that trickery of Boaz. But as far as your ass, Mary was not a virgin. She could not have been a virgin because virgin births do not happen. And for those who are going to write on here, parthenogenesis does not happen in mammals. So therefore, parthenogenesis is not an acceptable reason or rationale either. And then there are those who are going to say, oh, but that's the whole point, that it was a miracle. It's not a miracle. Do you know and realize that in many of your previous religions before Christianity, and especially in that 1st century CE and 1st century BCE, that it was very popular for cultures to say that Zeus came in to a mortal woman and produced a baby, that Apollo came in to a mortal woman, produced a baby, that different gods, Enki, came in to a woman and produced a baby, that the Nephilim came in to women and produced a baby. It was very common in that era for gods to come and be with mortal women and produce a baby. So it's not a miracle, it's a motif. So y'all have a great day. And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.